Greetings, Hotlisters. I'm Amy Holmes at theblaze.com, bringing you nightmare stories of cheap, crazy, and noisy tenants who just won't go away. Can you imagine letting a stranger move into your home who then refuses to leave? Well, that's what happened to one California homeowner when she let a student by day, stripper by night rent a room. Everything was fine for the first year, then things turned creepy. The 26-year-old tenant, Sarah Rogers, changed the locks and put up industrial chains to keep Carrie, the homeowner, out. Then came weird noises at all hours of the night.
The screaming, the spanking, the moaning that would wake the dead and my 5-year-old.
When Carrie called police to report flooding coming from the basement apartment, officers told her she was in danger.
5 officers came up and said to me, there is a loaded handgun in there. She has a permit. You have an unsecured door and an unsecured weapon. In a house where you have a 5-year-old, you're in trouble.
After contacting a lawyer, Carrie claims that she discovered Sarah, along with stripping, is also a professional harasser and has pulled similar scams on unsuspecting landlords before. Carrie ended up paying the real-life single white female $4,000 to go away. Marcella and Ralph Bracamonte had their own encounter with a nightmare tenant, the Nightmare Nanny. They hired 64-year-old Diane Stratton from Craigslist to look after their children in exchange for room and board. Well, the first 2 weeks were great. Then Diane holed up in her room and only came out to eat. The family tried to fire her, but Diane refused to leave. Diane claims that she was the victim. She told the local news that the family worked her endlessly 7 days a week and became abusive when she tried to move out.
She yelled at me. She says, "Get back in your room, you dog." She says, and then she started using 4-letter words that I don't care to repeat on camera, and name calling, and she slammed the door and told me to get in there and not come out.
Diane, who was homeless for 9 years before the Bracamontes hired her, claims that she's willing to leave, but only if certain conditions are met. Diane is on California's vexation litigant list, and according to CNN, the Nightmare Nanny has filed dozens of frivolous lawsuits over the years. Well, even the rich and famous have had to contend with nightmare squatters who won't go away, including the Queen of England and the Sultan of Brunei. Well, it helps, of course, if you have homes all over the world to escape to, or even just an East Wing. But for the average Joe and Jane, the nightmare could be living just down the hall. I'm Amy Holmes reporting to you from the Blaze Newsroom in New York City.